Hello everyone, this is Shad Reis from SCAI 2024 in Long Beach. I'm really privileged to be with Dr. Tai Kobayashi to talk about his new late breaker trial that we're going to be presenting during this meeting. Dr. Kobayashi, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for really having me.
Yeah. So tell us about the trial and the hypothesis of the study.
Yeah, so as a background, this particular study was looking at a newer device that's coming out to treat pulmonary embolisms. As we all know, historically, pulmonary embolism, embolectomy specifically, was grouped in large bore catheters and small bore catheters. So large bore catheters were larger, and they had some experience that these would cause some hemodynamic instability during the procedures.
Right.
And then traditionally small bore catheters were small, so they weren't able to extract as much embolism on the way out. And so this newer device is what we call moderate bore embolectomy. It kind of splits the difference between the two. And this is a first in human study. We're looking at this particular device that, traditionally the large bore embolectomy devices were 24 French. And then the smaller bore embolectomy started, much smaller than that, but now have grown to about 16 French. And this is a 16 French device that we're looking at.
Good.
The nice and unique portions of this particular catheter is that it transits through the heart and lungs as a 16 French device, so much smaller than the 24. But it has an expandable funnel, so once you get to the target area that you want to treat, you expand this funnel and that expands out to the same 24 French. It's a very flexible tipped catheter and flexible tipped funnel that you can then turn on. It's connected to a vacuum tube, and we turn that on and pull and extract out clots. So the hypothesis of the actual study was really looking at what is the feasibility and the safety of using this new device as a first in human trial. And so we were able to look at 25 patients that went through for our first in human study for this particular trial.
That's great. So let's before we go to the design and the findings, so this device goes through 16 French sheath, right? And then the delivery, and then in terms of expansion, is it like you unsheath the 24 tip?
That's right. So it comes with an integrated handle. So at the back of the outside of the patient, obviously, you have this little slide that you have that you can then control, and that automatically unsheaths this expandable funnel.
Bigger funnel.
That's
yeah.
right.
Nice.
Right. That's right.
And it's connected to a continuous negative pressure pump?
That's right. So it's originally connected to a continuous aspiration pump, a vacuum pump, but it also comes with an agitator. And what the agitator is it's a metallic device that doesn't actually get exposed to the pulmonary artery, but it has the ability to rotate. And when it rotates, it actually creates more of this sort of suction power in it. And in that integrated handle, as the operator, you can actually choose to turn it on or off as you see fit. So it's not continuously aspirating, but you as the operator are able to turn it on and off with the agitator going or not.
Perfect. Now, in terms of inclusion, which patient were eligible for the study?
Perfect. Yeah. So these particular patients were patients that were suffering from intermediate risk. None were in the high risk category, and none were in the low risk category. So basically, the same population that we've been studying for all of the previous trials that have gone through, the intermediate risk patients.
Right. And then let's go over the findings, because as you said, feasibility and safety.
That's right. So, in terms of the efficacy endpoints that we were looking at the differences between pre and post procedure RV-LV ratios. And what we were able to find was that in using this device in the first 25 patients, the RV-LV ratio did significantly drop by at least 18 to 23%, which goes in line with some of the other first-in-human studies that we've seen go through, including the FlowTriever device and the more recent Penumbra devices. And so we're seeing similar efficacy with our device, and we've not seen any significant safety concerns. There were 2 patients that ended up getting transfusions, but didn't actually meet the a priori bleeding metric. But since they were giving 2 bleeding transfusions, they hit the serious adverse events. But outside of that, we've had no issues with pulmonary or cardiac injuries or any other safety concerns from that measure.
That's
so
great.
It looks like it's really maintaining the efficacy without any of the safety concerns at all.
So this is a feasibility study, and this is, I'm assuming this is going to be a larger study going forward, or are you going to be presenting this to the FDA for approval?
Yeah, so this is now the first portion of the trial. It's the first portion of the 25 patients that went through feasibility. We're moving on to the IDE with FDA's approval that we've now are going to continuously expand this population to the IDE study, and that's currently ongoing.
That's great. So again, always we look for smaller, more effective catheter, and this is definitely, it gives you the power, the negative power, as you said, as well as agitation that compensate for the smaller bore compared to 24.
That's right. It's a newer iteration of a smaller device that we're able to utilize to get the same efficacy.
Well, Dr. Kobayashi, congratulations for being presenter at Late Breaker at SCAI 2024. Watch these videos and others on SCAI-TV. This is Shadi Raish from Long Beach, Dr. Kobayashi. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.